A lot of newcomers think hosting a web server is simple as opening a port on a router and pointing it at a container or VM. If you're one of these people, listen up, because this can save you from a catastrophic data breach. Today we're talking about the real dangers of web hosting and how to use a Sophos Firewall to build a digital fortress. When you use a simple port forward, your firewall is essentially dumb. It sees traffic on port 443 and says, come on in. It doesn't inspect traffic, allowing exploits, data exfiltration, lateral movement in your network, and a whole lot more bad stuff. Now, before traffic even hits your firewall, you need a gatekeeper. I strongly recommend using a DNS provider like Cloudflare or Google. We won't be going over DNS setup today, but the benefits are massive. By using a proxy service, you hide your actual IP address from the world, and attackers see Cloudflare's IPs, not yours. Plus, you can't expect your users to type in a WAN IP when you go to your site. They also provide edge security, scrubbing out massive DDoS attacks before they even touch your bandwidth. Just last year, Cloudflare blocked a 22 terabits per second attack spanning 47,000 ports. It's your first layer of armor. Once traffic reaches your Sophos firewall, we use WAF. Think of WAF as the security guard who opens every package before it enters the building. And a word of note, never host a public-facing server on the same network as your personal devices. By putting your web server on an isolated network, you ensure that if the server is compromised, the attacker is stuck in a digital cage. Our first step is setting up an encrypted connection for our users. You'll need to download the certificate from your domain provider. In your firewall, at the very bottom is the certificate tab. Click Add and upload the files provided by your DNS provider. Now we need to tell Sophos exactly where our internal web server lives. For this demo, we'll just be using a Docker-hosted speed test app. So over in our left navigation bar, we want to find web server, click Add, and we're going to name this speed test. For host, we need to create a new IP host. We'll name this server and type in our internal server address and save. Now we're going to leave this to HTTP to let the firewall do the decrypting. With HTTPS, the firewall needs to re-encrypt the traffic to send to the server. Since the server is directly connected to its own port, its own zone, its own subnet, it's not necessary. We're going to leave this to port 80 since we're using HTTP to go to the server. Keep Alive just keeps the communication channel to your web server open for a period of time, cutting down on TCP handshakes and CPU overhead. And backend server pooling helps as well by keeping the pool of idle connections to the web server. Instead of creating a new TCP connection for every request, it hands off a session to the next request. Only turn this off when you're having 502 gateway errors or an app using NTLM session-based authentication. And we're going to leave timeout to 300 seconds and save. Next, we need to make the firewall and NAT rules. On the Rules and Policies page, Sophos has a tool called Server Access Assistant. This is an alternative to using WAF, but doesn't offer the protection. We can actually speed up this process by using it. It creates a rule, but also all the NAT rules needed to make this work. Then we just delete the rule. So let's open the Server Access Assistant. Select our server and hit Next. Select the WAN interface we want to host this on. Optionally, we can also choose an alias if we have multiple WAN IPs. For our service, we're going to be using HTTP. From here, we can specify what internal networks are allowed to access the server directly. This should be used only by the server manager, so we're going to leave this as any for this demo. And save and finish. Now we can see it auto-generated that firewall rule, but if we look at NAT as well, it's created all 3 NAT rules that we need. So what we can do is just go back here and delete this one. Now let's go back to the web server tab and click on Protection Policies. From here we can customize the protection policy of our firewall rule we're about to make. Let's create a new policy and just turn on some basic protection for this demo. Now we can go back to Rules and Policies and create our firewall rule. Now to utilize that policy, click on Action and Protect with Web Server Protection. Now we can see a whole new page layout. We'll name this Speed Test WAF. Set the rule position to top and set no rule group. Under hosted address, we need to set our WAN interface. This app will be using HTTP, so port 80. Since this isn't connected to a provider, we can just input our WAN IP. In the protected servers section, this is where we choose our server we entered in the web server tab. Access permissions is where we set up restrictions to only allow access through our domain provider. Blocked client networks is for blocking specific IPs or networks or domains that you don't want access to your server. Think a specific IP keeps doing port scans on your server. And then blocked countries, we don't need to make a rule for that since we already have a GeoIP rule above this WAF rule. And under protection, we can assign that protection policy that we custom created for this. And for the IPS policy, we're going to be using a basic WAN to LAN rule, but you can create a custom one for this as well. And save. Now to simulate this being connected to a domain provider, I've created a DNS entry on the firewall to redirect our static WAN IP to speedtest.firewalls.com. So now if we open a new tab and go to that web page, we have our speed test site. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, consider subscribing for many more network tutorials to come.